Oh, hello again, dear friends. A pleasant sight to see you all again so soon. And boy, do I have yet another tale for you today. The Ballad of the Hydra and the Harp. Once more, title is a work in progress, but what do you think? This tale takes place a few days after our last pig incident. We have since survived a storm with a man overboard. Poseidon came in clutch with saving Eros, who, of course, came in surfing with him. Never a dull moment. Though we did almost lose Eros again only moments later, as he decided to get high with Poseidon. But back to our tale for today. Got your ale and pie ready? Good. The Ballad of the Hydra and the Harp, as told by Lyris, sunbird, twice risen, harp of Apollo, possible god favourite, but we shall see. The sky was calm, the sea still, almost too still. Our third day of travels to the next island, and we were on the water, gods above and monsters lurking below, and I swear on Apollo's light, I felt it. Something was waiting, watching, and the waters turned high and violent, rain pouring, soaking the deck, and us down to the bone. And that's when the sea opened its maw, and he rose. Not just a beast, no, that would be far too easy. A hydra, 12 heads in tow, purple-scaled, seething with toxic mist and ancient rage. Exodan, Eshdan, Ekoran, the king of hydras, whatever this thing here is. It's not meant to exist, and bear in mind, we were level 4. But a legend, told to frighten sailors and silence bards, and yet there he was in the flesh, breathing as real as anything. He spoke, of course he did, said we were meat and offered a choice. A sacrifice of great worth, or death. Eros, my sweet fool, offered his trident, and Myron, dead man walking, offered me. He's lucky that he's still walking. He was too far away for a well-aimed kick. But the beast wasn't interested in toys or traitors, no. Though, interested in our key, he expressed curiosity, the one tied to the lost city, Atlas, Atlantis, however you pronounce it. Again, another story for another day. But whatever you call it, it stirred something old in him. A deep hatred. So, I did what I do best, naturally. I played for time. I talked, questioned, and when all else failed, I looked 12 heads in the eye and said, "Do you like riddles?" And so the challenge was issued. His laugh nearly capsized the ship, said no mortal had dared before, but he still accepted. Note, wasn't actually expecting this to work, never been more terrified in my life, not even when face to face with Ares. But 3 riddles each. If I win, we live, and if I lose, I die. No one else. The terms were set. Round 1. I spoke first, voice shaking, my heart pounding like festival drums. The more I eat, the more I grow, till light is gone and none can know. I cloak the moon and quench the flame, but give me fire and I am tame. He paused, his heads muttering and in silence. The beast called defeat, one step closer to making it out alive. His riddle was next, and I felt my breath shortening from nerves. Came a bird featherless, sat on a tree leafless. Came a maiden speechless, and ate the bird featherless off the tree leafless. What the fuck? My gods, my brain hurt. But eventually it clicked. Snow, I said. Gonna have to try harder, beast. And I gave another. The beginning of the end and the end of time and space. The start of every shadow, yet never shows its face. He smirked, the letter E. Fine, one for him, I'll still win. And then he gave me this. I speak without a mouth, I hear without ears, I have no body but come alive with the wind. An echo, I whispered, through shaky breaths, yet another point to me. One final riddle, my last, I had to make this my best. The more you take, the more I grow. I stretch and spread, yet make no sound. I am nothing, yet all around. The beast strained and growled, and yet once more failed. I smirked. A simple enough answer. Avoid. And then, my final riddle. And then I was given my final riddle. If I get this right, we live. Everything was on the line. What has keys but can't open locks? I smirked and gave my answer. It was far too easy a one for a follower of music after all. I had won, beaten a legend with written logic, and he honoured our deal and vanished into the raves. Barb handed me a beer with a pat, a prize, and for a moment it was peaceful. But then he came back. The fucking... Ugh! I lied, he said, laughing with malice, and then... Well, chaos broke out. Myron shot him, unprovoked, of course. Eros jumped onto one of his heads, voice loud and mighty. What a way to go down! I don't want to make the joke. Nope, I'm not going to do it. But me? Well, I died once more. My body turned to ash from a single purple breath. Turns out the Hydra is just a sore loser, which, fair, hundreds of years old, and beaten by a bardic sailor in a dress. I once more awoke in the underworld. Hades rolled his eyes like I was late to dinner. Asked for a story to be entertained, so I gave him one. But sadly, he said I'd used up my second chance. No more freebies. But Apollo, my god, my lord and, well, my saviour intervened, pulled me away from Hades and embraced me in his divine light. Gave me gifts, a harp of his own and a crystal of escape, and the choice to return to my friends. I almost didn't, because God help me, I was tired. Tired of the fighting, of Myron's idiocracy. Really, Hades? Choose followers with some self-preservational skills at least. Or at least ones with more than half a brain cell, but it seems on brand for Hades. Might actually get in trouble for that one. Oh well. But I was tired of dying for people too reckless to listen. But I thought of Dal, of Eros, Esme and Boo. Oh, Boo is this weird fairy creature type thing that I found, but that's another tale. But I even thought of my ones for slapping him senseless. And so I returned, with Apollo's blessing and a promise of my soul's return to his realm the next time I die. I landed behind Myron on a beach, encased with golden light from the sun itself, as Apollo returned me to the world. Myron turned, saw me and ran. Good, he should be afraid. He was dragged and forced before me by the group. I gave him a choice. Either fall in line, or fall to pieces. He called me miss. Nuh-uh, it's yes, Captain, I said, with a glare that could freeze fire. He eventually got the message, after a few body parts were threatened, of course. And then, because our luck is cursed, we met yet another beast in the forest whilst looking for food. A boar. Huge, ancient tusk-like swords marked by the gods themselves. A divine test. We moved in. Eros, Esme, Dal, and myself. Myron clanked like a dropped skillet. Of course, he is meant to be the stealthy one. But the boar charged. Eros was gored. Esme missed her swing, and Dal struck with radiant fury. I raised my new harp. No strings, no sound, but it became a bow of solar flame. I fired the arrow, and it sung, filled with power of the sun itself. It struck deep. We battled hard. Blades clashed, spells flew, blood fell, and in the final moment, with the world still and the air sharp, I fired my arrow, aimed true with Apollo in my heart. It pierced the beast's skull, dropping it dead. A victory finally won. We returned to the camp triumphant, and Apollo graced us once more with his gracious presence. Gave us a ship, a god ship, one of his own, and joined us by the fire, laughing like a friend and not a deity. He had told me I'd have been proud to call you my daughter, and that meant more than I can say. So now here I sit, harp on my lap, a pig named Gilbert nearby. Don't ask. He even wears a monocle and speaks all fancy. And my one, well, he's still breathing, for now. We've lived through monsters and angry gods. I've outwitted a legend, returned from death, and fed my crew with divine boar. But the journey's not done. No, not yet. Far from it. So raise a mug. For wit, for courage, for wild pig friends, and for the bard who refuses to die quietly. So I'll see you next time, friends. I'm sure I'll have plenty more tales to tell when the time comes. But for now, ta-ta.